Hello Alana, this is Natalia, and I'm recording this extension to your Love and Romance reading that I did for you on the 31st of July. So this is being recorded on the 1st of August 2018, and what I'm going to do is look into the gentleman who is the Gemini who disappeared from your life. So we're going to have a look and see what can happen with him. And I'm doing the spread that I would have done if I was focusing on what's the potential for a relationship with you two. Okay, so first of all, I feel like when I look at your attitude towards him, how you feel about him, it's like you know what's gone on. Everything that you've told me is coming up here in the cards that I've drawn. So it's about you having to be independent, you feeling like, quite sort of annoyed at him, and that you didn't quite understand what was going on, and he just changed his mind, he changed his plans. The other thing is, I feel like you feel like he's acted a bit childlike, or he's being a child, he's been a bit weak. So that's where you were, perhaps when it all happened. Now, when it comes to him, how does he feel about you? What is really strange is the same cards are coming up that I got yesterday. When I looked at the beginning of the reading, I said, let's just have a look and see what's going on with him, where he had you up on a pedestal. He really stirred your romantic feelings. You were pretty special to him in terms of the attraction and everything that he's looking for in a woman. We've got the Justice card as well, again. So you know how yesterday I was talking about legal stuff, like your person is in the legal profession or is involved with the law and contracts and that kind of thing. Well, the Justice card has come up around him again. So I can only imagine that. I thought it was career related, and then you were telling me that you work in the legal profession in your career, that it's a legal firm that you work for. But because the legal card, the Justice card, is coming up around this man that I'm asking about, I think there's something to do with he was trying to do what was fair, what he thought was fair for everybody concerned, and that's where he was on the horns of a dilemma. That he's shown he's got the same card coming up again as he did yesterday, of this I can't make my mind up, I'm stuck in that Gemini thing where the one twin says this, the other twin says that. But then there's part of him that's going, I have to do the right thing that's fair to you, that's fair to my mum, that's fair for everybody. So it's almost like a standing back and looking at the fairness of the situation. Is it unfair of me to be in a relationship with you right now because I just can't commit myself to it? There's something where I just don't feel right. I just can't make my mind up. I've got a lot going on. I'm not at peace with myself. So I'm going to make a judgment. I'm making a judgment, and that's what I'm doing. The sword is coming down, and we're going to go our separate ways. I'm going to do a run, I'm going to disappear. Now, potential for a relationship. You've got the renewal card, which is all about getting back together with somebody. This is about a reunion and time to move in a new direction. And again, that is all indicated around February time. Interesting. So remember I said to you, I feel like it's around Aquarius season, and there's a contentment, peace and abundance. So that word again, peacefulness. He's not at peace at the moment, and I think you're better off, or that the feeling I'm picking up is that you're better off out of the way of him not being in your life while there is this soul searching and this restlessness in his mind in terms of decisions. He's kind of looking down and he's judging the situation, and he's like, no, I can't do that, and I must do this, and it's like an obligation. He's seeing everything black and white as the law does. The law says there is an answer, there is an action to be taken, and there's no grey areas in between. It is black or it is white. But potentially there is the potential to be fully fledged back together again by April next year. You're going to have to be patient. Now the advice to you is to go out and live life passionately, to allow your soul to sing with joy. So get out there. Do not hang around and wait for this man, okay? Go out and celebrate being single, and release any fears that are holding you back in terms of, I know it's easy, to go, oh, yeah, I'll just get on with everything. But Natalia's told me he's coming back, so I'll just hang on and wait. It's always difficult to know why or what's going on in the cosmos, but it feels like this is an important time for you to be on your own, and as in enjoying life and not in a relationship with him. And don't see it as though almost like he's in prison and you're waiting for him to come out. Go out. The angels want you to live your life, enjoy yourself. Certainly in September, just let your hair down, cut loose, and be passionate about life and everything that life has to offer you. And I do feel like the outcome is that he will re-enter. He will approach you in a flirty kind of way, and he comes back in. I need to just check and see when Mercury is retrograde, because that can also, Mercury retrograde can bring people back around. So just 1 second. That's really interesting. Mercury goes retrograde in February. A pre-retrograde. So the retrograde period starts to take effect and have an impact on all of us from the end of February, and from the 16th of March it's fully retrograde, so it starts to go stationary, it starts to stop, come to a standstill, and then from the 16th to 26th of March it is going backwards. So Mercury retrograde, he's ruled by Mercury, and that might bring him back in from the end of February onwards, which fits with my timings that I'm seeing here. So there's a flirty kind of extending his hand towards you, going, hi, how you doing? But in the meantime, I feel like I'm being urged with every fibre of my being to tell you not to contact him and go out of your way to think about him and to chase after him in any way, because it's not, he's not ready. Now let's have a look and see what will happen. Okay. So I think you're going to have a choice, basically. You're going to have a choice about whether you want him back in your life. And you may find that because you'll have like this 7-month period where you're not in a relationship with him, other options may come your way. But what I find really fascinating about my reading for you yesterday, this has never happened before. Because you said, oh, there's this guy, but I don't want to focus on him. And then you kind of sent that little shred of information about him. And then I went, oh, I'll just have a look at him and just tell you why it didn't work out. But because he came up as, this is the person you're going to have a relationship with, your next long-term relationship, it was almost like the angels were taking you back to the beginning of the first time you got together. Because that's the beginning of the relationship, isn't it? And telling me all that information about him, like you're going on your mini break and all of those things. Isn't that weird? I love it, though. I'm really impressed with that, because they've never done that before. But this is a unique situation, because most of the time people are single. They're asking about who's coming in, and there's a new person, completely new person. It tends not to be exes coming back in, although I get the odd ex, but they'll have been out of their life for about 5 years or something. But because this man's still around you, you can still see him online, sort of seeing his visibility, or you still thinking about him, whatever. He's very much around your energy field. So I don't think it's finished by any means. I think he will make his way back into your life. Whether you want him back at that time is up to you. Will he have changed by then? I think he's definitely going to be clearing from things, but he needs that space to be able to do it. So give it to him, and whatever the outcome. I'm just going to ask one last question for you. I'm going to ask, if you don't want him, or he doesn't come back, is there somebody else coming in for you? The cards I've drawn is it's him, he's coming back. and you're very like-minded, you've got the same interests, and you said about the Queen thing, I think it's him. But you've got to give it time, definitely. He's coming back in Mercury retrograde, the next one we have, but it's quite a long way off. And we're in one at the moment, but he's not coming back in this one. I'm convinced of that. Or if he did, he's not quite ready to be a big part of your life. So he's ready to be a big part of your life in 2019, but just enjoy yourself in the meantime. Something tells me the reason why you're not going to move on is because it does feel like there's a little bit of unfinished business between you. So whether that gets done and dusted and then you can move on beyond that, I don't know. But maybe get another reading in the new year, and we'll see what's changed then, because everything can shift around by the in a few months. So I hope that answers your question, my love, and gives you a little bit of more filling in of the blanks of the weird and wonderful thing that we've done here. All right, take care, my love. Bye for now.